Hello, this is round 2, race 1 of the inaugural European Super Touring Championship held on alternate weeks from the World Super Touring Championship, which does give us time to commentate on both. Myself, Adrian Michael Rees included, alongside me in the box at Dragon Trail Gardens is Christian Shepherd. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And unlike in his dutiful, as opposed to beautiful, well, your experience may differ, Swinny, in the pits for us, giving us the news as it happens, when it happens. Can you hear us, Swinny?
Yeah, don't expect me to buy you a drink or anything.
No, not yet. Okay, a bit of a special blend of last year's World Touring cars, along with an eclectic mix of privateers and coupes once more. Hence the Audis, hence the Peugeots. Off they go. Rear wheel drive.
BMW. Yeah, again,
Yep.
same as Brands Hatch. Absolute storming off the line. Might get squeezed
These
out
are
there on the inside.
Kubica. Off like a bullet. Bianchi, though, they're maintaining a decent position as they through the Tarquini chicane they go. Side by side, there's Morris. And already making use of the sausage curb.
Making use as the BMW as a stopgap there on the outside.
And again.
Yeah. I'd felt giving him a little bump there.
But
Morris
here's
is
a
through.
brace yourself moment coming up. The tightest hairpin on the track. And there goes Heifeld back up to 11th.
Yeah, Morris was just a bit too ginger on the brakes there, Lowen. Oh, and Heidfeld to take 2 places, in fact.
Through the piff pass. Speaking of Bish and Bash there from Nilsson and Dalmas.
Almost like he didn't realise he was there.
Into the Istanbul complex. Here we go. Damage to the front left.
Doesn't seem to have slowed him down as he's right behind Grondholm.
Now they've been taking some interesting lines throughout practice here at this double apex here, trying to find an advantage or disadvantage. There we go.
She's trying.
Van around the outside of Radicic into 8th.
Yeah, there comes Heidfeld. Quite got the pace that a VW does though.
Fairly decent battle. Lap 1 in the bag. Bianchi with clearly the fastest lap off the start line, but this is where the lap times will come in from now on. Barbosa and Capelli side by side through turn 1.
Yes, Capelli through, past Barbosa.
Anthony Ingram playing double duty as well. Decent results so far, but he's in the Scirocco. A little bit lighter than the Mazda that he's used to. By the way, Swinny, you're his manager. How much track time has he managed to get in with the Scirocco compared to the time he spent at Mazda?
About the same, considering practice time is limited in both championships.
I'm just watching Heidfeld here. It's quite far down compared to his teammate Kubica.
Qualifying was a bit of a mix, as we just see
Quite a bit of a sudden
Heidfeld.
jump of pace, I should say, closing the gap.
Almost with on the brakes with Carroll, didn't perhaps expect that. Now, the Percy front row starting focus has slipped out of, and slopped out of the top 3, holding up Nilsson. Formerly the work Scirocco. In the World Touring cars. Still a factory effort for the Euros, but obviously the eclectic mix has started to spread. There's the Coupe Audi putting in a good time. That's the fastest flying lap. Lap 2, starting to gain on Kubica. Bianchi's teammate Capelli took one of the wins at Brands Hatch a couple of weeks back now, along with Marco Kubica, who is also at the front of the field. So all things considered, we could be looking at him taking an early lead in the championship, even though it is nearly 25% of this race complete. Grand Turismo still set in purples despite being blocked slightly by Kubica.
I think Bianchi's
Then
also
that
holding
wobble
up.
on then out of Istanbul might have hindered him somewhat, but let's see if anyone else has managed to capitalise on a bit of clean air, especially the guys from 5th backwards. There seems to be a sizable gap down the back stretch from Nilsson. Dalmas is holding them up.
Definitely corking the bottle at the moment. Ford is just oh, I was just about to say unable to overtake beautifully around the outside.
Interesting lines. I say interesting. I'm thinking these might be slightly misjudged. There's enough of a space if you hold it to go right around the outside like that.
Yeah,
Nice drawn shot right there.
I think it was a fortunate sort of Mexican block that didn't quite pull off there for Dalmas, unfortunately.
And roadblock Mexican. So no one managing to knock Grand home off the fastest lap board. Had a sitch right there.
Nice little bit of a Tarquini flick there from Morris.
Did it again. Yep.
Yeah.
Lap 1, lap 4. On centre of form. Race winner Capelli. Same points as the World Championship, so still enough to compensate for a poor qualifying. But given this was the X-Works car, side by side with Heidfeld, round the outside, if you please. Are you kidding me? There we go.
Certainly managed to keep the place as well. When just looking at the position into the moment, Bianchi, Gronholm and Kubica definitely seem to be almost a mile away from each other in the sense, considering they're supposed to be in equal cars here. That's Gronholm past Kubica.
Yep, he certainly did. Game on for the lead already. So whilst he was almost a whole second off, thanks to that bit of a wobble, maybe wobbled there as well on board. As he hits the timing beam now, let's see what happened. Nope, still a whole second off. Almost. Bianchi still leads. You can just about see Kubica in Gronholm's mirrors there.
Yeah, but for how long? You're right, the gap between what I believe to be 5th place all the way back to 6th for Carroll is...
Carroll's managed to get ahead of Dalmas on that penultimate lap, but it's still enough of a traffic jam.
Just rode a little too hard.
Stressed, yep.
Yeah, I wonder how much it costs for one of those springs in the suspension of that Audi.
About 15 grand, they're spec parts.
Hopefully not from the bargain bucket, A20.
Oh, well, one has to wonder we're getting eavesdropped now by the from the pit board.
No, feel free to chip. I mean, it's going to be an easier role for you this weekend, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about... I mean, there isn't much strategy. Obviously, we don't do pit stops or anything in these championships, but obviously here I don't have to worry about what my team is doing over the course of the weekend.
Seems to have a slightly better line, the Audi, going through there over the Megane.
I think the move might be on if Bianchi...
Certainly, if you're going to open the door like that to the inside, Bianchi. Yeah, that might
now
be
then,
that might be done.
There we go.
Low elbows out, but clean. Right, well now we'll see if Grandhomme was held. Sorry to interrupt.
Early days, but move for the championship so far. In fact, of all the races we've seen, that might have been the best overtake even for the Worlds.
Looking to see if he'll make a move into turn 1. He backs out of it, unfortunately. Although Grandhomme was giving him room.
Radisnich and Ingram having a tussle through the final double apexer.
Carroll has not disappeared as far ahead of Dalmas as we were expecting after holding up.
Van down the inside. Okay, maybe not.
Tighter line, meant he had to be a bit slower there on the apex.
Reflexes
darts
enough to get down the
over.
inside for 7th. Okay, Dalmas blocked that off there. On board, Ingram through the Tarquini chicane.
He's going to cut back here to get a better, sharper line down the straight. That should be done for the Peugeot, unless...
Look at that crocodile in the mirrors.
I didn't seem to have a great pace in the end in that of Sirocco. That seems surprising.
Almost.
The braking might have surprised
Gang of
Sirocco
four, if
as
they're
well.
happen behind them, there's a battle and a half behind there.
Aye, it certainly is.
Van Radisic falling back because he managed to lose 3 places in the space of half a lap. I wonder if these teams are getting a... I mean...
That's Ingram past Delmas, by the way. Don't quite know where it happened, but he's passed.
Yes, certainly did.
Morris sniffs the blood in the water there now. Gives him a bit of a nudge, tells him to move, get on with it. You're slowing us down.
Whilst this battle's going on, Swinny, you were for the first season of World Super Touring. This looks like it's tough to set up for, because I mean you've got the sort of stark contrast in the long straights and the very technical, almost stylized turns, almost Tilke-like in the middle, and then that chicane on the back straight. So was this difficult to set up for, as it would be for these guys?
Yeah, I mean, we had the charcoal void back then. Some teams definitely set up as a sort of low downforce, straight line speed thing to get through, the first sector really well. And then some teams set up for the middle sector, so there was definitely a sort of split in thinking there.
If the split in thinking is happening, this is quite a great battle amongst different types of setup, as Dalmas ahead of Ingram now. Once more. Morris with the power.
Morris.
Oh my word.
Yeah, just sends it up there.
The factory difference between the independent make there. The X-World touring car.
Does seem everyone is just basically 6th place at this point until it settles down.
Thankfully, they don't show that on the timing board that they're all in the same place. Morris, Ingram,
may as well be till the end of the race at this point.
And while that's happening, it looks like Grondon's just gone. I think he's through the penultimate turn.
Yeah, he's at the final
and exited
turn,
it just as the 3 behind, 4 behind. Okay.
Ford's caught up
Percy's
to
back.
Two.
Back again. Nielsen.
Yeah. Back again and tell a friend at this point.
Relatively new series, by the way, so I'm whilst we're enjoying this, I think the governing body want to have perhaps a look at they want to have a look at the driving standards, but there for that hairpin. Why would Dalmas brake so heavy, knowing that he's done that mistake before? He's let 3 cars through, hasn't he? He's just...
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why or how that happened in all fairness. Oh,
Morris with a wobble on, and the power on down the front straight, just like the back straight there, but Morris fortunate enough not to get hit from behind there. Ingram now through the Tarquini chicane behind Morris. Are we going to see that Scirocco power down now to get ahead of Carroll on the backstretch? Here we go.
You got to think that Morris here definitely has the car underneath him. Carroll not been able to pull away since his overtake on Dalmas.
And once that's happened, Gronholm's going to put a 41.7 in the last couple of laps. And that is 5 seconds faster than what Morris is doing right now.
But he's currently in a fight at the moment. Is it these all tripping over each other, slowing each other down? Slight bump to bumper there.
We're experiencing some great battles here, but sorry, was this to be expected of the first term for a European Championship, given that we've got like ex-world cars, we've got these coupes that are snuck in, not necessarily under the radar, but it's great to see them, if in the European Championship, not the worldwide one. To me, they look like touring cars, but was this to be expected, such a sort of stark contrast between the front and the back?
I mean, nobody really knew what to expect, with some cars having a fair amount of mileage on them, and then some cars having no mileage on them. Some people were theorising that the cars with mileage on them and established setups would do better, whilst other people were theorising, well, the newer, fresher cars will shine through. So it's all just a big unknown at this point.
Yeah. Case in point, the Morris Scirocco against your man Ingram's Scirocco, they're close, and they still look, slightly different.
Yeah, well, the Works ones is what Volkswagen were going to bring for the World Series before the 5-door rule came into play. So that is their downforce upgrade, essentially, just like Renault did in the World Series.
Regarding the HPI team, how long until they actually get that version of the car, do you reckon?
Not at liberty to say. I don't know. I don't have that information, unfortunately. I'm very much a need to know basis because I'm not a member of that team, sadly.
The snake continues to slide through the infield from 6th on down. And whilst it's unfortunately a straggler right at the back, Grandhomme is still in scalded cat mode, gone with 25% of the race remaining. Dalmas down to 10th. Capelli was 10th. There was that battle that we might have missed. I mean, we've missed a few, but can you blame us? It's been quite good considering the stark contrast between the top 5 and these guys. Ingram and McNish now having a battle. So, 3 to go. Down the inside of Percy was Nilsson then, as we see the battle for the medal position, so to speak. The rest of the podium, I think, unless Grandhomme's going to make a severe mistake here. Carroll, Morris and McNish now being the front of the pack, but I think Dalmas was the cork in the bottle earlier, because that gap is starting to grow, even though we just saw a flash of Ingram's pea green boat. Dalmas, Capelli, Heidfeld, Guvan and Tassi. The Hyundai's together. There's Liuzzi.
They've done okay, considering they were nearly on the back row of the grid. They sort of dropped the ball in qualifying here.
And a bit of brain fade through the penultimate turn again. This time Capelli still trying his best to break into the top 10. Fell back down again. Heidfeld's fallen down to 12th as well. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking at the midfield, and Grandhomme has started to slip back into the grasp of the top 5. Track's getting a little bit colder because he's getting overcast there. Kubica starting to gain. Okay. Maybe game on for the final lap. Listen to Percy. It's been a fairly decent run considering a very good qualifying. We're expecting that privateer 4 to fall even further back. But him and Carroll are going to be perhaps leading the independent side of the European Championship. What a battle they're having. Oh, McNish with the wobble on through Istanbul. Ingram looking to capitalise. Already in the slipstream. Down the backstretch. On the roof of Ingram's car as they... The move could be on. Oh, I was expecting... Oh, will it? Oh, McNish with the defensive move then. I guess you'll be having a word with Ingram about that later, because that did seem not to be on, I guess, but that might be much better. Morris with a slide on. Mission 8th. But it looks like, whilst we've seen a fantastic battle for the lower points playing positions, through the Tarquini chicane for the last time goes the mid-pack. Heidfeld managed to get ahead of Capelli. Not his day, not his race. Braking area for by hairpin. Almas still being very defensive. I mean, you can't see he's ruining it. We've had some decent level of action here as the leaders round the final turn to complete race 1. And Gronholm has done it. Slowly made his way through the field. Decent start, decent finish. Kubica second, Bianchi on pole, Percy with a respectable finish as well. But this has been, fair to say, epic, given the circumstances. Maybe not the best place to come to, but fresh eyes, fresh perspective, and an eclectic mix of touring and coupe cars to add to the bargain once again. What worked at Brands Hatch might not have worked here, but it was decent enough as Carroll crossed the line for 6th. And that means Dalmas, I wonder, was he hanging on to get pole for race 2? We wonder.
I doubt it. It's interesting to see how far Radishit's dropped down, considering he was, if I'm not mistaken, started in 8th place.
He fell back. That's unfortunate. Esteban Ordonez, though, in the privateer coupe Peugeot RCZ,
Dropped off from lap 5.
dropped off.
Yeah.
Bit of a sulk on, to be honest with you, but that, despite the technical issues we had in the last few laps, apologies for that. I reckon that was a good one, all things considered. Christian?
We saw a lot of people dropping back, not necessarily anyone really pushing forwards. It was nice to see that Gronholm grabbed himself a win, but we'll have to see how race 2 turns out.
Well, more of the same, hopefully, but if a little bit closer, if you please. We'll see that for race 2. Good racing, everyone.